What is going on, people? I am back for a little bit something different. This is a collection, I don't want to say update, but kind of showing off my collection. If you couldn't tell by the title, this is my A24 collection. If you haven't heard of A24, it's like a sister, I don't want to say sister company, but it's Lionsgate's, I guess, independent style company. This is where it's more, not mainstream as much. I really haven't seen many of these movies having commercials and stuff, but I remember watching the first A24 movie that I remember watching and then finding out about the other ones is actually Spring Breakers. I didn't know it was A24. Didn't realize it was, a company or whatever until I started seeing other ones. And then I'm like, oh, well, this company has a lot of movies that I definitely do enjoy, which I'll get into. Some of these I'll talk about. Some of them I have not seen. It's pretty much, I don't know, being a collector. And I don't know if it's just me. If it is just me, let me know in the comments. If not, I think you all know my pain kind of deal. Sometimes you buy movies and you're so psyched to see them and then you don't watch them and I don't want to say forget about them, but it's one of those things where I pop in a movie. Like when I watch movies, it's either when I have time, which I have less of and less of nowadays, or when, I'm about to go to sleep and then I'll pop in a movie, but I don't like popping in a movie right before I go to sleep because I want to watch the whole movie. So the movies I do put in before I go to sleep are the ones that I've seen a million times where I can fall asleep with no problem. But anyway, I'm going on and on and on and on. So let me get into this. I pretty much have the entire A24 collection that's out now. There are still 4 movies that have not been released yet. I think 3 or 4 of them, might be all 4, or a couple of them will be getting released, I believe, the first week in October. So definitely go ahead and check that out. Well, 8th Grade is still in the theaters. It might not be. There's a movie, Hot Summer Nights, which I saw a trailer for that I'm excited. Never Going Back, and then A Prayer Before Dawn. Those are the 4 that I see on their website that are coming out at some point in time. And then there's 2 ones that I can't find anywhere. I found a bunch of them on Amazon. I've seen some in stores. And the problem with Amazon is there's a whole bunch of them I don't have slipcovers for. I'm looking for the slipcovers. I haven't found them. If anybody knows where I can get the slipcovers or any of this, or if you have slipcovers that maybe you don't use, let me know and I'll purchase them or whatever. But anyway, like I said, those 4 are the ones that have not been released yet. And there's 2, like I said. Krishna was a A24 website exclusive, I think, which I went and found out about way too late, and now they don't have any listed on their website. And then the other movie is called Menashe, I think it's pronounced, but again, I looked everywhere and I can't find it. There was one, which I'll show off first, that I looked and the only Blu-ray they had was a region-free Blu-ray that I don't have a region-free player. So I went with the DVD of it, and I believe this is the only DVD that A24 put out, and it doesn't even say it on here, so I don't think this is an American release of it, but it's Ginger and Rosa. I think this was their first release. Could be completely wrong, I could be lying, but I believe this was their first release. Again, it's not on Blu-ray, and again, it doesn't even say A24, but when I went on the website, this was listed. So this was the only one, and I recently just got this because, again, for the longest time I was looking for it on Blu-ray, and I only could find, the region locked or whatever. And then I was watching a YouTuber, and they said that Ginger and Rosa was only released in the U.S. on DVD. So found that one. So let me go into it. I'm just going to go, I have them all in alphabetical order, and then I'm going to start with the ones with slipcovers that I have, and then the ones without slipcovers, because every year they get released at different times, and I've seen people do it that way, but I'm just going to show off. My collection is always alphabetical, so Let me get into it. Anyway, American Honey. This stars Shia LaBeouf and Sasha Lane. Again, I'll talk about some because I've seen them and I really dug them, and then other ones I have not seen yet. But like I said, I bought them to, not only finish out the collection, but because if you haven't seen an A24 movie, definitely go ahead, do yourself the favor, and check them out. The other one is Backstabbing for Beginners. This is one of the more recent. I believe it came out earlier this year or late last year. The Ballad of Lefty Brown. Barely Lethal. This is one where, and that's the thing too, with A24, they kind of hit every genre you can think of, and every genre has really good movies. So that's why I'm like, I want to get these movies that are from this company, because everything that I've seen I definitely enjoyed. This is more of a horror one, The Black Coat's Daughter. The Captive. Cut Bank. Dark Places. Now, if you want a review of any of these movies, definitely let me know. Like I said, I'm going to try to skim through this, and I'll talk about a few. But if you really want a review for any of the movies, let me know, and I'll go ahead and do it for you. De Palma. This one I definitely enjoyed. The Disaster Artist. This is the one with Dave Franco, James Franco, Seth Rogen. It's pretty much the movie of, what's his name? Tommy Wiseau. He made that movie, The Room. And it's one of those, not The Room. Yeah, The Room. But anyway, he made that weird movie where no one knew where the budget came from, but this is like behind the scenes kind of deal, and he makes bits and pieces. If you haven't seen either of the movies, I said check out that one first, because it is off. Is it The Room? Now I can't even think. It is The Room. See, when you doubt yourself, always go by your first instincts. Anyway, this is The Exception. This is one of the more popular ones that a lot of people talk about, Ex Machina, where they make pretty much like a life-size robot and all this. Well, I'm sure there's a lot of life-size robots, but kind of she comes to life, and there's like a love story going on and all this stuff. If you haven't seen that one, check it out. First Reform. This is one of the newer ones that just came out. This one I dug a whole lot. The Florida Project. This came out earlier this year. This is where it's a single parent living in, a hotel, motel, whatever, trying to make ends meet, and what she has to do with the kid and whatever. It's definitely, a I don't want to say tough watch, but when you watch it, it's like you realize what people are going through. Free Fire. A Ghost Story. Good Time. The Green Room. Hereditary is one of the latest ones that came out. For the longest time, myself, I don't go to the theaters. I wait till it comes out on Blu-ray. I heard really good things about this one. It's definitely a little bit different. It's more like cultism and witchcraft and stuff like that. How to Talk to Girls at Parties. This is one of the recent ones that came out within the past couple months. It Comes at Night. This one is a slow burn revenge type movie. I remember watching trailers for it. It took the longest time to get it, but when I watched it, I'm like, wow, that's definitely deep and thought-provoking and all that stuff. And it's The Killing of a Sacred Deer. Lady Bird. This is one of the bigger titles that came out. Laggies. The Last Movie Star. If you have not seen this one and you're a Burt Reynolds fan, I don't want to say it's like a documentary, but I never grew up. I didn't watch a lot of his stuff, but I can imagine this was how his life really was. So it's kind of like a documentary style type. You have to watch it, but if you're a Burt Reynolds fan, definitely watch that. Lean on Pete is one that came out recently, and it's more, kind of a growing up type movie. What do you want to call it? I can't even think of what I'm looking for. Anyway, The Lovers, one of the more recent ones. Let me put this there. A Most Violent Year. This is one of the bigger ones, I believe. Academy Award winner. I was about to say what did it win, but it says it right on top. Academy Award winner, and that's Moonlight. This is definitely one of the bigger titles. The Monster. This one's pretty cool, where the mother and daughter are trying. I believe the mother's dropping the daughter off for the father. They're divorced, and they end up going through the woods, and they get kind of stuck. And there's a monster there. Rover. It's like a post-apocalyptic type movie. Room. This is another, award winner. 4 Academy Awards for Best Picture and a whole bunch of other stuff. Swiss Army Man. This one definitely caught my eye, and this is probably one of the ones that I was like, you know what? I definitely dig this one. And it's one of those things where it's like so off and odd, but it's a great movie. It stars Paul Dano and Daniel Radcliffe. Pretty much Paul Dano kind of gets stuck on this island, and he thinks he's the only person there, and Daniel Radcliffe's dead body washes up on shore, and he starts using, I guess, his, I don't want to say imagination or whatever, but you see Daniel Radcliffe start coming back to life, but not fully, and this guy's kind of using his body in every which way. I guess, being stuck somewhere by yourself, anything could happen kind of deal. I definitely dug it. If you haven't seen it, definitely check it out. Spring Breakers, this is another one that I, first saw, and I was like, oh, this is definitely crazy. James Franco's in it, Selena Gomez, Vanessa Hudgens, who is Ashley Benson, Rachel Corrine. Pretty much these girls kind of want to go on a spring break, and they find money any way they can. If that's robbing people, they go down and have just a crazy ass time, run into a drug dealer and James Franco and all this stuff. Son of a Gun, Trespass Against Us, Tusk. A lot of people gave this one crap, but I definitely, I like the odd. For those who are maybe watching this for the first time and haven't checked out my stuff, I'm a huge horror fan, and I'm a horror fan of, the crazy or weird, different type movies. It's the ones that, like this, that I'm going to remember for the longest time. Sometimes you just get so many movies that kind of mesh into each other, you couldn't tell which one's different. Try to tell your people, your friends, or, years down the line, be like, I watched this movie the one time where a guy met this other guy who was talking about how a walrus saved his life, and at that point in time, that guy turned the other guy into a walrus. Tusk is definitely different, definitely out there, but I definitely dug it if you haven't seen it. Under the Skin, The Vanishing of Sydney Hall, The Witch, more timepiecey for me. Not the biggest fan of it, but I can see why people do like it. Woman Walks Ahead. This is one of the latest releases. I believe it came out like 2 weeks ago. Woodshock. Still haven't seen this one. A lot of these, to tell you the truth, I haven't seen. So if you see me skimming through a bunch of them, it's probably because I glimpsed at them or didn't see the whole thing. 20th Century Women. And now I'm getting into the ones that don't have slipcovers. Again, I was pissed because a lot of these on Amazon showed the slipcover with it, but when I, got them, they have no slipcovers. So again, if you're watching this and you made it this far into the video, if you know of anybody who's selling slipcovers, or you have slipcovers that you don't use or whatever, let me know, and maybe eventually I'll have slipcovers for all of them. So anyway, the Adderall Diaries, Amy, pretty much a documentary, Amy Winehouse, The Bling Ring. I forget which pseudo-celebrity. At one point, her and her friends were breaking into celebrities' houses and stealing stuff. This is the end of our tour. Enemy, Equals, This is one of their first ones, I believe, on Blu-ray. The Glimpse Inside the Mind of Charles Swan III. Try saying that 5 times fast. This is like a... what would happen if all the power and stuff started, just disappeared. There's no power or electric anymore, and you kind of got to live like the old people. It stars Ellen Page and Evan Rachel Wood. They are sisters. They end up going into this like secluded cabin with their father, and he ends up watching. I don't want to give too much away. Like I said, if you want a updated or review that's a little bit more not exclusive, what am I looking for? I'm horrible, but anyway, more in depth, that's what I'm going for. Life After Beth. The Lobster, this one's interesting, where there's a I saw the trailer for it and I definitely dug it. Now I'm trying to think of what the trailer was. Someone, they go to this island, and your spirit animal, you turn into, if you don't find love, you turn into that spirit animal or whatever it is. Locke or Lockie or something along those lines. Mississippi Grind. Mojave, this is one of the recent ones I picked up. This actually came in today, and this is why I'm doing it, because there was 2 movies that I was waiting for, and then that would be the ones that I could find. That's Morris from America, Oasis Supersonic. This is the backstory, almost documentary style of the band Oasis. Obvious Child. It's more of a comedy. Like I said, A24 hits a little bit of every genre, from horror to comedy to drama to just about everything. Remember. This one came in today as well. Revenge of the Green Dragons with Ray Liotta. The Sea of Trees. Slow West. The Spectacular Now. This is a really good full, like a lovey-dovey, I guess you want to call it, type movie where what's her name, Shailene Woodley has a disease, and Miles Teller's character falls in love with her. I definitely dug it a whole lot. And then the last one is While We're Young. So again, that's pretty much my entire A24 collection. Again, there's 2 movies I'm still searching for. If you know of where to get them, or if A24 happens to watch this and you have an extra copy, or have a way to get that Krishna, that's the one that was a A24 exclusive. And then what's the other one I was looking for? Menashe. So if anybody's watching this, you made it this far, let me know if you find those 2 or know where you can get them. And I will be getting the other ones that do come out within the next couple weeks. Like I said, I think a couple of them come out October 2nd. I could be completely wrong, but I'm definitely one day going to start sitting down and watching a whole bunch of these. Again, you want any review for these, let me know, like an in-depth review, and I'll sit down and do them. Most likely I'll be doing them anyway. But definitely, if you haven't heard of A24, if you haven't sat down to watch a bunch of these movies, or if you've seen the movies and you just didn't realize it was A24, definitely check out their stuff. There's a whole bunch of independent type movies that definitely need to see the light of day, because this, a lot of these movies are great and people just never heard of them, because a lot of them never got, the exposure, I guess you want to call it, as a lot of these bigger titles did. Some of them did. Like I said, the bigger titles in the A24 collection definitely did. Moonlight, Lady Bird definitely did. The Room or Room. But a lot of these, I don't remember seeing trailers or commercials or anything for them. So a lot of these movies just haven't seen, people haven't heard of them or seen the light of day. So that's why, that's the main reason I do this channel, is try to get more independent stuff out there that people haven't heard of and are just, waiting for. A lot of people are waiting for movies like this. So definitely check those out. I'll leave the link to A24's website. to tell you the truth, I think you can order a bunch of them, a bunch of stuff off of these. I don't know if it's the Blu-rays, but I know they have all products like T-shirts and posters and stuff like that. But definitely check out the website. Check out Amazon. That's where I got a whole bunch of my stuff. But maybe you'll get lucky and they'll send you ones with slipcovers. And yeah, hopefully you enjoyed this. Hopefully, I think I'm going to eventually kind of break down, you know, my Scream Factory collection I've been adding to. So eventually I'll do another collection of that. Maybe my, you know, Anchor Bay horror movies or something along those lines. I got some magnet releases that people should check out. So maybe I'll break this down into, you know, groups and stuff. So if you dug it, if you liked it, definitely go ahead, hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, hit that little bell button so you know when I do a whole bunch of my stuff. I still have my Steelbook, my Hocus Pocus Steelbook contest going on my channel. You have until September 30th at 11:59 p.m. and then October 1st I'll do my drawing. So if you're watching this now, go ahead, enter into that. And yeah, I guess hopefully you enjoyed what you just saw, and hopefully you'll stick around for more. So that's my A24 collection, and I guess until next time, I'll see you guys.